Very good morning, students. Here I am to begin this new poem, poem number 14 in your book, Imagination. You think something which is not there, that is called imagination. You think a lot of things. I hope as the book uses the few idea to think. Have you read any books? Have recently you have read any books? And it's the stupid question to ask for this generation. Have you seen any apps? Have you downloaded any movie? Have you chatted with any friend? These are the common things. This is the mobile is the most important now. Very hardly we see, very rare we see any people as holding the book and whiling his time. Olden days, most of the people only hardly to see the newspaper readers today. Only old people, they have purchased the newspaper and they gone through the news what is there. In the television also we have very hardly to see if anybody watches the news, what is happening around us. And far it remained keeping the book and reading. And it's very difficult this generation to ask all these questions, as the book says. Name the book you have recently read. Who is the author of that book? If you have not read the book, how will you know the author of the book? We don't know who is the author of our lesson. That is the title of the lesson. We forget. How can we remember these authors? Those who are having this habit of reading the book, you ask them. They knew very important authors like these lessons we have. Okay, anyway, it's not important things. Now let us go to our main idea, the imagination. What you think, what you want to be tomorrow. If I have become a Prime Minister of India, what I will do? If I had been, which is never happens, but we keep on imagining in our life. If I had been traveling all that life in an aircraft, if I have been what I would do. If I had been a scientist, what I would do. All this, which is not in our hand, we just imagine. And that is called the imagination, which is not in our hand. Okay, this is the title it speaks about. But this title, this lesson, this poem was written by the George Bernard Shaw. Let us know about little bit about him, because in the book also they are not given. I have taken from the net and put in front of you. Just I'll read. He was born. George Bernard Shaw was born on the 26th July 1856 in Portobello, that is in Dublin, that is in Ireland. He dies on the 2nd November 1950. Iron St. Lawrence the place in United Kingdom. He was an Irish playwright. He is a critic. Who is the critic? For everything he has to say something. They are very critics. They will never accept the things. Criticizing the things. Tarka madudru. Critic is one who makes the tarka in Kannada. Yavudi keladu avaru tarka idu. It means he better learn the philosophy. Philosopher he never gives the things as it go on. For everything he has the reason. So same thing, critics have everything, for he has the reason why it happened, why it is not that, why like this, why not like that, all this. Okay, polemist. Okay, standing firm, polemist. Okay, is that, and the political activist. Okay, he influenced on the Western theatre movies. He was the one who influenced the Western movies and the culture and the politics. Okay, his books are The Perfect Wagnerite, Cassian Bynes Profession, Place Unpleasant, and because of he is a great writer of his literature, he gets the award, Nobel Prize in his literature, Academy Award for the best writing. And these are the short summary, short explanation or the biography of a great author, George Bernard Shaw. Let me go through the summary of this poem. Okay. It is for this reason. Now, this imagination, this author write this poem in the imagination idea. It is not true. Only the ideas here also. Okay. George Bernard Shaw was a man whose work was compared to a humorist and a clever authors who were well known at his time. But by the turn of century, after centuries, 100 years late passed on, Shaw's smart, funny voice have emerged, come into existence. A unique, a single intersection of a stylish typified by the writers like the Oscar Wilde and the Anton Chuan. Oscar is a great writer. Okay, he comes one of them as a great writer. For this his great writing, for this reason, imagination is something on an oddity. It is almost Juvalian as a young boy, Juvalian as a naughty. Okay, Juvalian, one who is no control over his action. Okay. Since Shaw was an author who was not known for constructing anything so inconsequentially, he cannot construct anything with a conscience. Okay, inconsequentially, it might be assumed, it was understood, the simplistic nature, simple nature of the poem has a deeper meaning, much more than the words imply. More than the words, it implies the meaning is okay. Words is not important here. Meaning, the hidden idea of this poem is very important. Let's see what is this. Throughout this poem, speaker notes that, identifies that he had an active imagination and allude to a childhood imagination given up. The whole of the poem speaks about he was a gradual growth in his thinking of the imagination. And when he was, so that in the middle of the poem he speaks, when I was a child, I used to think like a child. Now I am grown up, I no more think like a child, I think like an elder. Same thing, no? When we are small, we think of the smaller things. When we are growing up, we also think of the greater things which is in the future. The Bible in the Corinthians chapter, if I am not wrong, in the chapter 13, 1 Corinthians in the Bible, you will not know it because we Christians, we know there are some letters written by St. Paul. In this he says, Corinthians, he says, St. Paul says, when I was a young, I used to think like, when I was a child, I used to think like a child. When I am a young, I think like a young man, elderly man. That is what. Okay. Let's see how this idea goes on. And he thinks here his adventure similar to those of the great adventure people. Mark Twain's character, Tom Sawyer, Harper Lee's, Scott Drill, all these are the important people, those who have done the adventure things in the life. Okay. The things the speaker pretend to be are the clinches, the connection. The games little boy have played together numerous generations. The little boys which they play the games from the generation, the same game, no? That is we going on playing. We cannot play like elderly people. Elder people, the grown people have the different games to play. Understood? Like small children used to play, this is they are from the generation, including the pirate and the cowboy. See, even they were playing this game as a cowboy and the pirate. Pirate was the security of the submarines on the boat, on the ship. Okay. If the other are ready to attack this, they are ready to control this boat. This is called the pirates. Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean. If you have to see the movie, there we understand who they are. Okay. These roles were not sophisticated in nature, not dissolved, disappeared in the nature. But the speaker says, these simple things did please me. But even it's sophisticated, funny things, but this pleases me. It disappears in a few days, but this attracts me, this gives me more pleasure. In the second stanza, the speaker describes an abundance of a time spent in a magical world that is imagined. Musical world. Imagination is one kind of a music. Now magnanaguvodu, ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಮಗ್ನನಾಗುವುದು, that is the musical world. Okay. He then discovered reading, and in this way he escaped the daily great problems, daily greed. When you are in the imagination, when you are in the magna ಆದಾಗ ಇರುವ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Same thing, the daily problems, daily difficulty things disappear from our brain. That is what the yoga sometimes makes us to do the yoga to forget the pain. No, when you are more effective of the dhyana, you forget what is there in front of your life. Okay, even the difficulty you forget by the making the deep dhyana. That is what he says. The use of daily difficulty is interesting because it's very different than the lifestyle and the images of the child. It's different from the lifestyle every day which you are going through. Sometimes we also say, when we grow up, I would have been a child in this. Those are the best days, we used to think. See? In the next stanza, the speaker describes living with the Eskimos in the northern climates is a person. The following stanza reports that he went off to the moon. Now he thinks that he has gone to the Chandralokakke nanu hodenu anta alochane. So he has gone to the moon. After reading Jules Verne, popular science fiction writer of the day, the voice of the speaker adapts a childlike as seen in the source used to bare bones, simplistic style. Okay, he has gone with the bare bones. Without the bone, he can fly like a bird. He is flying like an angel of the Lord. He is flying in the sky. He has gone to the sky flying. Okay, only mind, not his body. He says in the poem, and went off to the moon. It was just to take a look, then it was time to return. Now just to look there and to come back. Okay, the voice saw adopts the importance of the poem's themes here, especially in the search, simplistic idea and the style of writing contrast come against each other with the Shaw's superior stylistic capability of in his literary works. In the written works and in the idea, it is a completely changed. In the fifth stanza, the speaker alludes of the famous explorer, comes to the light, alludes to the light, Dr. Livingstone, and also speaks of the Tywin's character, Hunk Finn, the epitome of an adventuresome boy. Epitome is the great achievement of the adventuresome boy. The speaker is out of touch with reality, but in reality it is not there, only in the ideas. As he becomes caught up in his imagined exploits during some especially dangerous and the controversial situation, dangerous and the difficult situation. Okay. So also structures the poems, rhymes, rhythms, rhyming words. If you take out the book, you see there is a rhyming words of the alternative, that is called ABAB structure. Rhyme scheme of the imagination is singing song, and the unimaginative, for a instance, he uses AB in the fifth stanza. The simple kinds of rhyme along with the basic syntax, basic idea, also add to the child the mood of the poem. And this is what it speaks of, the mood of the poem, like a small child. Okay, thinks of the child here. Towards the conclusion, at the end, the speaker notes, in my words of a fantasy in the imagination, fantasy also imagination and imagination, I performed such wonderful deeds. Only my imagination in a fantasy, ಇನ್ನು ಮಗ್ನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಚಿಂತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ದೊಡ್ಡದೇನೋ ಮಾಡಿದಂಗೆ. ಓಕೆ. In the statement, the speaker notes the capable of doing more than is normal for most people. More than doing for these people, but only in his imagination. Perhaps he speaks to the difficult, to the living childhood, where anything is possible in turning to the adulthood. In the childhood it is not possible, he thinks only the greater things, but when he reaches to the adulthood, it is possible to do certain things. When you are small, you thought of becoming a doctor. Now he says, now it is possible for you. Olden days felt it is not possible. Now it is possible because you have the capability, you have the capacity to do the things, which is repleted with not possible. In the poem, last stanza provides the great movement, pivotal, ultimate movement when the speaker turns away from the believe the days of his youth. When he speaks about his youth day and he says this is possible, this is the possibility of doing this. In order to give this masterful writer his due, we must look at the deeper meaning as opposed in the literary presentation of the poem. The first and the last stanza is very much like the Bible saying, okay, when I was a child, I spoke, thought and reasoned like a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. We know that by the turn of century, Shaw's smart, funny voice had emerged. We also know his works highlighted various social and political concerns. With these details in mind, we can infer Shaw was making a statement, something beyond sharing details of the speaker's childhood imagination. Okay. When the speaker was a child, he behaved like child. When he grew up, he changed his attitude, his character. Shaw's might well expose the personal, political and social idea by nothing that. What is that? It's in the small. So that he says he was a political activist. When he was grown up, he stormed firm polemists. Okay. Stood like a pole. Okay. Of the people of the day. Instead choosing to live in a dream world rather than facing the reality of the modern day. We, instead of remaining always in the imagination world, better to enter into the daily life of us. That is called of the modern day realities. And that is what the poet is inviting us. Not to remain in this world of idea, but enter into the reality. Imagination. Now, this exam may not take place this year because there are no classes. That is the world of imagination. But reality is that even there is a class, you are not a class, the 10th exam will be there. Have to be conducted. Must be there. That is the act. So that what is the, you have to enter into daily life of your education to study your portions. That is what the daily life. Going round in the world, wasting time rather than enter into your books. There is a time to go round in your world. Okay. Now this poet is inviting us to enter into the reality of our life. What is that? Now you are a student. Enter into the life of a study. And that is what. While he put away the imagination of a childhood, however, Shaw's speaker also notes he is still curious about the mysterious in life. Future life. What is it? We don't know. That is the mysterious. Rahashyavada Jivana. Okay. Therefore, he says, enter into the problem of everyday life, not to keep up in the imagination. Thank you. See you soon on the further videos, next video. Bye-bye.